What could patient flow look like for your care setting in the 21st century? It's an all too familiar picture in care settings today, where manual processes and legacy technologies create extra administration and constant interruptions, pulling us away from caring for patients. Many methods of joining up ever-changing data can be time-consuming and unreliable. Administration can feel like an obstruction when patients are priority. Gaps in information make it difficult to plan ahead. The frustrations of life today can become chaotic and disorganized. Now let's look at Cambio's solution to patient flow and how life can be tomorrow. Cambio Patient Flow Manager takes the basic status board concept and evolves it, allowing clinicians to interpret patient data at a glance. Patient cards display color-coded status boxes that represent different patient conditions and status. For example, if box number 1 is highlighted in red, this could show that the patient requires a blood test or that physiotherapy is required. Other nuances such as symbols, background color, and text labels are created to match the way you work, giving teams a swift overall view of their patient's needs. Patient cards are viewed via on-screen representations of each ward, which helps them manage beds and patient flow, reducing admin and releasing time to care. With PFM, all the information is transferred electronically, flowing seamlessly in real time between teams. PFM's hospital-wide dashboard displays the real-time position of wards, teams, and patients, allowing everyone to plan ahead effectively from a shared position of knowledge. To better understand how Cambio's solution works, let's follow a patient's journey. Mrs. Lewis has been admitted to hospital following a fall at home. Interfaced with the PAS, Cambio PFM generates a pre-populated patient card that also remembers previous details such as diabetic status. Mrs. Lewis is taken to the AAU. Here staff complete her assessment and use PFM's advanced bed management features to find her an appropriate bed. In this instance, on Nightingale ward. Using PFM, staff request the transfer. A notification prompts a swift response. Mrs. Lewis is moved to Nightingale ward, along with all her data, saving the receiving team recreating it from her notes. The patient card's design has changed to reflect the information used during this part of her hospital stay. Staff can tell that Mrs. Lewis has already been in hospital for 1 day, is diabetic, has dementia, and has already had blood tests taken. PFM can be utilised on a range of devices. In this instance, staff capture bedside observations using a tablet device, where Cambio PFM automatically calculates the early warning score. This information is then accessible in real time from any device. The nurse updates the patient card to show that Mrs. Lewis is a falls risk. Patient's named nurse is added, and that physio sessions are required. Over in the physio's office, clinicians assess PFM's virtual ward features to see all patients who need physio. We can see that Mrs. Lewis has been automatically added to the list, and that her current location is clearly visible. Physio sessions are now in progress. After a short hospital stay, the nurse sets up an estimated discharge date. Now that the EDD has been set by the hospital, an e-referral in Cambio PFM means the community team can now prepare for Mrs. Lewis's return home and her ongoing care needs. Back at the hospital, it's time for team handover. With PFM in use, this takes no time at all, providing tailored printouts if required. Staff see that it's soon time for Mrs. Lewis to be discharged. Transport is requested ready for the morning. The patient card reconfigures to focus on going home actions. It's time for Mrs. Lewis to go home. PFM is updated to show the now empty bed, and an automated cleaning request is sent to the domestic team. All this information is reflected in the hospital bed management views. The patient card flows to the community care setting, just as Mrs. Lewis returns home, happy with the level of care she has received. Cambio Patient Flow Manager creates transparency between wards, care settings, and organisations, improves processes, and ultimately makes a difference in the daily lives of carers everywhere. Need more time for caring? Time for Cambio PFM. To find out more about how Cambio's Patient Flow Manager can make a difference to your care setting, visit cambiohealthcare.co.uk.